I'm glad your phone is ringing. Our next fellow is getting lots of calls about his invention as well. It's kind of interesting because so Matt is a little bit trying to be ahead of the wave of newspapers getting to the point of understanding that they need to get more digital subscribers. So he's a little bit ahead, and our next presenter, Peter Meng, is sort of at the point where the wave has already crashed onto the beach and caused all kind of damage, and now he's trying to go through and figure out a solution to that problem. And he'll talk about this, but the idea is that the classified revenue, classified ads for newspapers was a big chunk of revenue, and Craigslist and eBay and specialty sites have pretty much decimated that over the past 6-7 years. And he'll, I assume, have some of the ugly numbers, but the idea is there a way to get some of that revenue back and come up with a solution that puts the brand of the newspaper back into play and makes it, a viable revenue source again. So anyway, Peter was a fellow here, 2011, 2012, and he's basically an online marketing and advertising expert. During his fellowship here, he came up with this idea to disrupt the disruptors. He wanted to find a way to monetize online classifieds by using social media to deliver tailored ads. This project developed into what is now known as adFreeq. And it's a classified ads platform that embeds a free web app into any web page. And Peter's here to show us the latest version, tell us all about it, and tell us how he's going to make millions of dollars. Okay, Peter.
Is that better? Good? Good? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start very quickly with a quick video. Actually, this is our little promotional video, but it's about 95% done, but I think it's showable, so we're going to start there.
What is adFreeq? adFreeq is a personalized online classified ad portal. All you do is create a classified ad portal for free in just a few minutes and embed it on your site. adFreeq gives you a tiny code snippet you can place on any page of your website, and instantly you have local, national, and global classifieds appearing in your branded ad portal. Visitors to your site will see page-relevant ads flowing into the ad portal. For example, sports classifieds appear on the sports page, and over time, your ad portal will get to know your visitors and present baseball-related ads to baseball fans. Your ad portal is also a powerful classified search engine. Just type what you're looking for and select a category, and instantly the ads appear. You can even filter the ads by price, location, or whatever is relevant to each category. Your buyers can execute up to 4 searches at the same time, and adFreeq can notify you by text or email if they can't find what they're looking for. If a visitor wants to sell something, they simply click on the Place an Ad button. Select the type of ad they want, add photos or video, pay for it, then post to adFreeq, Twitter, the world, all without leaving your website. adFreeq is free for any publisher. Set the prices for the ads in your site and keep 70% of all revenue generated. It's simple to get started. Just click the link that says Get Started and build your first ad portal for free.
Thanks. Switch real quick. Okay, so that gave you a quick overview of what adFreeq is, and just provide a little background as I go through the rest of the presentation, give you a little bit more detail. Obviously, it's a little bit more sophisticated than that. But like Randy was saying, there's a big problem. In 2000, Gannett made 55% of the revenue from classified ads. This year, it's about 5%. The market has dropped dramatically, and there's a lot of revenue that's really disappeared, or appears to have disappeared. But the Poynter Institute estimates that about $6 billion is left on the table through the ability to charge for additional value-added services and to market in new ways to new markets in the classified space. So what our goal is to help all those newspapers, all those online publishers, and all those blogs out there reclaim some of those lost profits and a lot of that traffic. We've developed this, as Randy mentioned, we developed adFreeq in conjunction with the Reynolds Journalism Institute as part of my fellowship program. And we spent the first half of that program doing a lot of research, finding out what people wanted, if the market would bear this type of product, and what the basic features were that were required to make it successful. So, what is adFreeq? Well, just imagine, if you would, a fully enabled classified ad management system that all fit on your phone. And you just had, it's just an app. It's an app that does everything that you would expect of a normal classified ad system, but it does it on your phone. Well, what we do is we actually, although we have it on the phone, we actually take it and move it right into any page on your particular website. So if you're on in this case, on the Missourian, it might look like this. And what you're looking at is that square area there. We call it an ad portal, and it is a full-featured classified ad platform, all embedded within that same space. You never leave the page you're on to activate all the capabilities of adFreeq. If you click on a particular ad, they pop open, and you can get additional detail. You can even click on them and make them zoom full screen. I can get a little bit more information. Let's see if my mouse works. Yeah, there we go. This works better. Let me back up one screen. Okay. So what I can do is, if I'm looking at a particular ad and I decide I want to place an ad, I can click on the ad button. Supposed to click on it. What is going on? Let's try this again. Sorry about that. There we go. So click on an ad and place an ad, and it moves into our ad composer, where you fill out basic information about your ad. So you can choose categories and the type of plans, and the publisher sets all their individual pricing plans. So if you've standardized on a particular type of plan, you can execute that plan currently. If you want to give away ads for free, you can also set up free ads. And they can be both media ads and text-based ads. You set the various pricing, you determine the various variables. So if it's an automobile ad or a transportation ad, you can say that you want make, model, year, color, identify all the different variables that you use for those particular categories. Then you can go ahead and select a particular category, add your photos and videos, take a quick preview of that particular ad, and then set up all your payment information and make the payment for that ad. And so it's fully integrated payment capabilities right within the same ad placement portal. When you're done, you can publish the ad, and you can even view that ad on Twitter, because every ad on adFreeq is pushed directly out to Twitter and to the world. And over time, we'll also be adding the ability for you to push to your Facebook accounts and to any of your other social accounts. So, if you wanted to search in detail for additional information or get a more detailed search, you can click on this little toggle button, and it shows you the different search criteria. You can say I want to create an advanced search, and you can have up to 4 different searches all running at the same time. We're also going to be integrating services from third parties that will allow you to find answers to any particular thing that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a 2008 Mustang convertible and you want to see a review, you'd be able to actually use your search and click on Answers, and it'll use Answers.com service to bring that capability right to you. And you can also look up best prices of particular items that are matched in our pool of ads. So in this case, we'll click on Advanced Search. And again, very similar to what we had on the ad classification page, we can filter out what we want to search and look at. In this case, I'm just going to cancel out of there. And one of the biggest issues that people seem to have with adFreeq is that it takes a small amount of space. We have lots and lots of different ads that we can go through. In this case, it says it's returning 248 ads, and we can flip through them a screen at a time. But most folks want to see a little bit more than that. So we click on a button that's, let me jump back real quick. We click on this little button right here, the Zoom button. It'll take us to a format that we call ad boards. And what ad boards does is it takes all of our ads and brings them full screen. And you can scroll infinitely down the list of ads. As it gets to the bottom of the list, it will continue to load additional ads into this particular space. And then you can look at details on any one of these ads that you're interested in. So I've never seen a baby cockatiel before, so I'll go ahead and click on the baby cockatiel. It brings up an image of the cockatiels and tells me a little bit about information about them. And what I can do is I know a friend that's a bird collector, and so what I can do is actually click on any one of these share icons and share them directly out via email, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, all the standard spots. And then I can also click on the, I'll go back again, I clicked a little fast. If I click on the map button, it will take me directly to a map and location of that particular item, so I can see where that item is located. The magic button on the ad boards page is this little button right here called Save. So when you're on the ad boards button, you can actually click the save icon, and it will save your ads into a collection. So if you're searching for Dobermans and you're looking through all the different types of Dobermans that you find through our site, you can actually save and aggregate those onto your own ad board and create a collection of Dobermans onto that ad board. So if you're going out shopping Saturday, you want to visit those locations, you can actually take a look at each one of those ads in succession. Now the cool thing about adFreeq is that it was designed with responsive design. So what that means is that, bring it up, you can flip it, you can bring it up directly into your mobile device, and it will automatically respond. And this is actually live ad board running right inside adFreeq, so you can see a bunch of cars that we've loaded there. It's continuing to load additional cars and vehicles, but it will work with any of your devices. So if you saved an ad board, you can actually use that ad board for when you go shopping, or you can share that ad board with other people. And then you can pull it up on your mobile device, and the ad boards work, and adFreeq itself works dynamically across all those platforms. Like I mentioned, we're bringing out adFreeq on mobile. The first version is going to be out on iOS, and this is kind of a view of what our iOS platform looks like. And then shortly thereafter will come our HTML5 version, which will look a little bit more like the ad portal that you see on the web browser pages. So what does a publisher get for implementing our adFreeq platform? First thing that they get is a free classified ad platform. We don't charge them anything for this particular platform. Our goal is that behind the ad portals that they embed on their site are literally millions of ads. We're currently working with content providers to aggregate millions of ads. And our goal is that within about a year of this time, we'll have about 10 million ads in our ad network, in our classified ad network. And those can be filtered by the publisher. The publisher can say, I only want ads from my site, or I want ads from the adFreeq network in my site, or from a variety of other content providers that we'll be working with. We're working with automotive, real estate, employment. There's some really interesting new aggregators that are pulling just generic business type of classifieds and integrating those. So we'll literally have millions of ads that they can choose from to display within their ad portals. The other thing is we have very powerful local and geo search capabilities. One of the cool technologies that we've integrated is really powerful search tools, and those are just coming on board, but they give us the ability to do what we call associative search. So if I'm looking for a Chevy Suburban, I can type in Chevy Suburban and it will find Chevy Suburbans, and will also find Chevrolet Suburbans, but it might also recommend a Ford Expedition because it knows that a Ford Expedition is like a Chevy Suburban. And in our shopping environment, in the classified environment, having things that are similar is very, very important. The ad portals are also white labeled for their site, so they can choose different color schemes, they can add their own logos, those things to match the look and feel of their particular publication. And then finally, of the revenue that's collected through adFreeq, 70% of all that revenue is returned to the publishers. We do all the transactions, we manage all the systems, we have all the storage, all the servers, and we return all that back to them. Currently, we're working with a number of rollout partners. We've been testing at the Missourian for the last few months, and the implementations on the Missourian are pretty much fully enabled with our 1.0 version. You'll see the latest ads on those ad portals on their site. We also just added the ad boards capability to their site, so you will see ad boards although they haven't been tied to the domain yet. So if you click on the ad board icon, it'll open up ad boards and you can play with it and search the ads that are in there from the Missourian, but it doesn't have the domain at the top, and that's coming shortly. We're working on that. So our initial target markets are traditional newspapers. A lot of traditional newspapers have been hit pretty hard in the classified ad space, but we think we've given them a pretty compelling argument to to use our platform on their sites, or at least to test it out and give it a try. You can always put it in a corner of your paper to give it a shot, do a little marketing against that, let people know that it's out there, collect some ads, see if it generates some revenue, and then grow the opportunity over time. We're also working with online publishers. Virtually anybody that has an online presence and that would like to have a new ad-based revenue model that they might not have considered before, they can easily implement adFreeq ad portals. We're also working with associations. Yesterday we confirmed our first agreement with an association. The Association of Alternative News Weeklies has committed to testing at about between 10 and 25 newspapers within the next 3 months, and we'll be presenting the results of that test at their annual conference in Miami in July. We're very interested in continuing working with associations because they have the ability to let us reach a lot of papers, but also it's a great solution for them to offer to their clients and their members as a new revenue opportunity. One of the areas that we've been really intrigued with is our non-traditional classified ad partners. We'll shortly be announcing a relationship with a used storage company, a very large used storage self-storage company that's going to be using adFreeq to help their customers sell the items and goods that they have in their lockers. And it will also allow them to use their location as a place where people can go and have a safe transaction. So, if they're running classified adFreeq classified ad portal and somebody wants to buy and sell something, one of the issues that's always been the case with Craigslist and others has been, where do you do a safe transaction? And so they're going to provide actually a location to do that, and also other services like shipping and packaging of items that would be handled through a more of a postage type presentation. So there are a number of other non-traditionals that we're talking to, a company that's doing garage sale only programs. They have a really cool garage sale component. So we're working with those folks. And then radio stations, TV stations, various media organizations that already have some classified ads or have classified ad radio shows, they can supplement those with an adFreeq ad portal. Then another one is vertical markets. We actually are going to be doing a test with an agricultural vertical magazine based out of Canada, and that we'll be able to announce that shortly. But what they're going to be doing is offering large farm equipment through adFreeq portals, and the thing that they're most intrigued about is the ability to notify somebody when an ad becomes available, because when you're looking at $250,000 pieces of equipment coming online, you want to be the first one to know about that. And so our notification capability is very intriguing to vertical markets, especially B2B markets. And then the last one is blogs. Blogs don't seem very obvious, but a lot of folks in specialty markets in blogs, let's say you have a blog on 60s era muscle cars, and a lot of guys who read your blog are interested in selling parts or making parts available. You can now place an ad portal on your site, encourage people to come and place ads on your site, set the pricing for those particular ads, and generate revenue for your particular blog. If you're using Google AdSense, Google AdSense defines what ads are going to be shown, and you cannot promote those, otherwise you get nailed for click fraud. And the transaction revenue is dramatically higher on an adFreeq ad than it is on a standard Google AdSense click-through. So large opportunity with blogs over time. And then the last thing is we're gathering a series of rollout partners in content, and we hope to have those announcements shortly. We're working with an automotive company that has 8.5 million ads that are available, others that have about 3 million residential ads available. So a lot of ads coming into the pool, into the adFreeq network within the next few months, and we hope to be having formal announcements about that shortly. The other cool thing that's happened in the last year is that adFreeq has gone international. My partners, Chris Eckhart and Ryan Tang, have been in China for about almost the last year, and they were able to secure a government grant from the Chinese government that's used to bring American technologies to China and help develop that technology for the American market. And so they're very intrigued by the whole concept of classifieds in China. The classified market in China is a nascent market because this is really the first generation that's had a lot of things that they want to turn over and start selling. So it's becoming very, very popular. There are a lot of large players in that market, but nobody who's presenting a solution like we are. But we're really excited about the team that we put together, a development team that's also been helping us here in the United States. The focus is going to be slightly different, starting with small and medium business versus individuals, but it will transition pretty quickly. Currently, our company is raising funding for what we call our first 18 months of runway. So far, we've funded everything through angel investors and through basically friends and family, but we've actually participated in a number of competitions, have done very well. We were just selected as a Arch Grant finalist in St. Louis for an Arch Grant, which is really kind of a very cool type of grant where the city of St. Louis encourages people gives people $50,000 to move to St. Louis, move your company to St. Louis. And so we made it to the top 38 out of 704. So we hope to hear in a couple of weeks, as well as other opportunities that are coming up. So a lot of cool things happening on the fundraising side, and we're moving that forward. So we want you to meet the freaks. Oops, a little too fast. Okay. Basically, we have a great team here in the United States. We have a great team in China. We have a development team, development partners again here in Colombia, and they're supplemented by a really sharp development team out of China as well. It's been really intriguing over the last year to learn how to work on a 24-hour clock and rotate projects through around the world. But it works surprisingly well once you get the kinks worked out. So basically, that's adFreeq in a nutshell. Are there any questions that anybody would have right now, or? Yes. I think we have to wait for the. Yeah.
So the top 8 ads were served up, and then you had to click the arrow to go for further. Can you charge a higher price for those top 8 ads, and can you keep? Can you maybe say rotate through those top 8? Is it set up in such a way to do that, or is it just a random top 8? And then the second part of the question is, in the search, the same thing. Can you charge higher for people to show up in the top 8?
You've actually identified our long-term revenue model, which is value add abilities to place ads in a higher rank and add value to the ads. So if you, one of the first things that we want to do is give people the ability to rise higher on the list, on the pool. Right now, it automatically defaults to the first ads that are shown are the ads from the publisher themselves. But the publisher will also be able to upsell, and they'll be able to set the pricing for the upsell of ads that appear at the top more frequently, that stay at the top, that even through the rotation they may appear at the top longer. There's also a little space. Let me jump back real quick, and I can show you a couple of things on the widget itself. Let's take a look here. One of the things that we have down here, right here, is this little sponsorship space. And one of the things that a number of the papers said to us is, you know, this is a great idea, but how do we know we'll make money? I'm giving up valuable real estate. What we found out was that advertisers are willing to sponsor the ad portal at actually a premium above the space that they were actually selling above. So it actually makes it even less painful to do that. So those spots will also be for sale. We're integrating a full ad management system into it so that you can sell those spots, rotate those spots through. You can rotate other ads through. So there'll be a lot of value-added opportunities in the future to do that. That's our long-term revenue goal. And that's the money that the Poynter Institute was talking about as to money left on the table.
And then real quick, what types of blog platforms does it work with?
Initially, it's going to, we can support anybody that can support a JavaScript embed right now, but we'll also have shortly a WordPress plugin. So, and it will be designed to fit on your third column, you know, in your standard third column within WordPress. One other thing on the ad board's capability, that also has given us a dramatic number of new revenue opportunities as well, just because it presents a lot more information. We can do cool things with color, with highlighting, with text, with integrating sound and video into those particular objects. So again, that capability, which is brand new, that again adds to that value add opportunity for creating additional revenue.
You said you were going to manage transactions on the website itself without leading a person anywhere. Could you talk a bit more about how exactly you're going to be doing that, the purchase and sale?
Mm-hmm. One thing, when I talk about managing the transaction, I'm talking about managing the transaction of the ad. Okay, so if you're talking about the ad, currently, classified ad systems are basically a dating service. You basically introduce a buyer and a seller to each other, and they are the ones who execute the transaction. So what we do right now is sell ads. So if a seller wants to place an ad, we have the infrastructure to sell that, and the whole transaction can be managed. If the seller wants us actually to help them do the transaction, to do credit card processing, those kinds of things, that's another thing that we're going to add in the future. That's a little bit trickier because there's a lot of, as eBay and others have found out, it's very difficult you have to be very careful about managing fraud in that environment. And so that's going to be a while before we can add that capability. But it gives us a dramatic opportunity to differentiate ourselves from Craigslist and versus anybody else, virtually anybody else, because that is where there's a large revenue opportunity as far as additional add-on services go as well.
I'm just trying to understand my question. I'm trying to
Sure.
figure out what the 70% you're talking about.
The publisher defines what their ad pricing is. So for the Missourian might say any 2-day text ad is free, any 5-day text ad is 50 cents, and any 30-day text ad is $1. And then we also have video ads and photo ads that are $10 a month, and all employment ads are $35 a month. They can define all those price points for their particular ads, just like publishers have always done in the past. When we first designed adFreeq, we were going to standardize pricing, and we were just going to establish a price point across the board. But that's the first thing that came back in research, is that there is no rhyme or reason and no specific model to classified ad pricing, and everybody insists on doing it their own way. So we gave them that ability to set their own pricing. When that transaction is cleared, when that person buys that $35 employment ad or that $1 text ad, we manage the transaction, we process it, we take care of all the credit card, clearing all those kinds of things through a third party, a trusted third party, and then on a monthly basis, we settle up with the newspaper, and they get 70% of that transaction. So we keep 30% for managing the back-end systems and for providing all the different services that go into managing instead of them paying us a monthly subscription or an annual license fee, it's just on a transaction basis. It makes it easier for both parties, actually. And they have a pretty good sense of what things cost. Any other questions? Yes?
Do you have some cases in China?
No, the product in China is in the process of being built, and the goal is that it will be coming out sometime mid-summer in China. It will start in Nanjing. That's where our offices are, and that's where we receive the grant. But we already have angel financing. We received money from the government, and we have also received angel financing, and we've also got second-tier financing already lined up for moving down the line. So it's actually been easier to raise funds in China than it has been here in the United States. But that product and that team is a very strong team, and it's moving forward very quickly. So you'll see that shortly. Yeah.
Another question. Besides the fact that you have a grant in China, what was the reasoning behind you actually going to that country? And are you thinking about expanding to other countries and other languages? And maybe what I thought was, if you're not planning to expand, are you going to maybe sell the platform?
We, as far as our approach to China is very unusual. And right now there's a big thing going on in the U.S. government about immigration. The reason we're in China is a direct result of our immigration policies. My partner Ryan Tong wanted to stay here in the United States. He graduated as an MBA from Mizzou. And after he'd been with us for a year, we couldn't afford his H-1B visa, nor could he get one. So we had to send him back to China. So my point was, while you're in China, why don't you see if we can raise some funds, and maybe we can bring this product to China. Ryan's a great sales guy, and he went straight to, in Beijing, he went straight to all the major American venture firms and presented the adFreeq idea. They loved the idea, but they suggested that he go through these different programs to get funding from the Chinese government, and it worked. And that's what we did. So the reason we're in China is because of our immigration policies here in the United States, which is a strange issue. But the other cool thing is we've also presented this product to, we have a software partner. The search engine that we use is developed by a company in Oslo, a very powerful platform. And we recently presented our product with them together at the NAA, National Association, no, what is it? National Newspaper Association of America, a couple weeks ago with this company, and they're actually going to represent us in Europe as well as South America once we have the ability to easily localize the product. And that's not going to be too long. It was designed to be localized for other languages fairly simply. So we're going to be working with them as our sales and marketing partner and integrating their technology into our platform. But we will be heading into those markets relatively soon. From what we understand, Schibsted in Europe is looked at, which is about a $2 billion classified ad company in Europe, is looked at very much in Europe like Craigslist is here, as a giant that has old technology, and so there is an opportunity there to get into that market as well. Any other questions? Okay. Well,
all right, thank you very much, Peter. All right, well, thank you all for joining us here in person and everybody online. That's our 2013 Tech Showcase, and we'll see you next year.